Hey guys, it's Avenger. Welcome back to the channel, and we are in Heyfork, California, at Orbx's newest release airport, in Taog's Hangar's Huey. Now, this is a big update, which is why we're flying this today, a really Orange County Sheriff's Department livery. It's a pretty cool looking one here. There are two new liveries, of course, with this update, which is a huge one, including this one, and also the iconic Air America. Only reason I'm not flying that today is because we are in California, so let's get ourselves ready to operate. Obviously, this is the high-skid version of the civilian model, the 205. So we have our steps and the bear paws on, the basket at the side, the winch, and the particle sap is on. That's fine by me. Everything else is turned on we wanted. So we are going to put on our tablet GPS up there. A cool new feature, by the way, with this update is that there is now the ability to have support for the GTN 750 from PMS, which I believe is up there mounted, or the 650, which will be in the actual panel when you're in the modern variant. So you'll have it there, like I have right now for TDS. So you'll have the 650 in there. But we're not going to use the modern one because, yuck, modern glass of Huey, that feels wrong. So we'll get ourselves started up and, more importantly, turn that off, because I've learned that lesson already. And we'll make sure we're getting ourselves ready to get ourselves underway here. Let's get that on. Let's get that turned on. Let's make sure we have everything where we want it to be. Let's make sure our fuel is engaged. Let's make sure the various flight sims back-end systems are going to behave themselves for this. Okay, and boom. Let's get the starter going. You'll hear the starter sound a lot louder now in the startup sequence. That's one of the changes. Okay, we're going. Blades are starting to spin. Turbine sound is coming up, and we'll hit that green range in a minute. And there's a lot of shake now on the panel too. It's another feature. Oh, look at that vibration. Okay, we're looking good. It's taken. Let's bring that throttle up where we want it. Oh, when she's rocking, look at her go. This old girl's a bit bouncy. Now, it doesn't specifically state whether or not you can actually tune that. I know shaking effects. There we go. Shaking effects enabled, disabled. Of course, that's the top option there. We'll leave our vortex simulation on. And everything else can stay. So let's get ourselves positioned here where we need to be. The old girl's rocking a little bit there. Looks so wrong with the big legs, but they're very practical for its purpose. Okay, so we're off today to not very far actually. We're going up to the Heyfork Bali Lookout Fire Watch Tower, and then after Limestone Ridge, and then we're off up to 0 or Oscar 86. Which is Trinity Center, which is a freeway airport. I'll link both this payway one and the freeway one in the aftermath, and we'll have our look over the patch notes. They'll be in the description, of course, as I can for you, but we'll go over those during the flight. For now, let's get ourselves out of here. It's time to boogie. So, switch my head on, make sure I've actually started that, because it's always something I forget. Today is the head tracking. There we go. We're operational. Nicely done. Alright, let's do one, shall we? And up we go. Now there's a whole off-road track here if you like the Juice Goose and other off-road vehicles in the sim. Also, the Goose is actually one of the best ones. But this is a really nice little California airport in the backcountry. Yeah, that's a good course for motocross racing, I'm assuming. There's apparently trails around here as well. We've got parts of the town here. really nice little bit of scenery in this area. If it's not somewhere you're used to flying a lot, it's good to have something a little different. Oh, I forgot over here. This looks very regimented. If it isn't currently military, it certainly was at some point. Or it looks like it could have been. Not sure. Right, let's get ourselves on course. We're following this direction, so we'll swing around. Now we'll start looking at some of those once we get on course. We'll look at some of those patch notes. So head tracking is disabled for now. So I can look at this. We've got improvements. Uh-oh. Okay. Not now. I've been having this issue a few times. I'm not sure what causes it, but I have noticed it. My engine will die. So I have to do an emergency landing when it does this and start the engine again. For some reason it decides it doesn't want to live. And my rotor RPM just drops off. So we'll hopefully correct that now, and I'll turn off the low RPM light siren in a second. But then I get it back and it's all fine. I'm not sure what's causing it. It might be a sim conflict. But I've had it a couple of times. I'm not doing anything particularly asymmetrical when it happens. Is that dropping off again? Hasn't started properly. Okay, we'll do that there. So I was going to say, we of course have the antenna shape's been fixed, transponders have been fixed, rotor blade length has been corrected, we've got flight model performance has been changed, we've got the hover to forward stability, flight stability improved, crosswind, tailwind limits per the flight manual, G3X rotor RPM numbers have been increased and corrected, CG tweaks N1 idle speed reduced to 68 to 72%, the wiper speed's been improved. Is my RPM coming up or what? Oh, that's why the fuel's off. And I didn't even turn the fuel off. That's the funny part. That's why it's not starting too. For some reason, I'm not sure why, the fuel keeps getting knocked off. That's been what's been killing my engine a few times. The fuel gets turned off. Don't know why it does it, but it does. Right, the engine's lit now. In terms of behaviour, we've got a shaking effect added, of course. Incorrect empty weight values fixed of the water corrections if we're using the water drop systems. Ignition starter sounds, Bambi bucket corrections, click spot for small right rear door, working title compatibility for the PMS 750 or 650, sorry. There we go. And we're back. Problem is I can't just flick the fuel back on if it pulls this routine again. I've just got to go with it. Makes for great practice for emergency landings though, because suddenly I'm losing RPM. I basically have an engine out. Which means you've got a finite amount of RPM and time to get down. Right. Over this terrain this might be a bit more difficult, so I'm going to try and climb here. And if it tries to pull this routine again, I'll have a bit more options in terms of where to get to. But I am very limited. Multiplayer sounds are improved and fixed, by the way. And start generation condition. Another thing as well. Key binding for searchlight controls now defaulted to the Microsoft ones, so if you want to use those you can. The master caution light is on when the battery's off, so that's been fixed too. And we mentioned those liveries as well. Is everything that needs to be on? You are on. Fantastic. Let's gain some altitude here. I need to freaking super glue that fuel switch down so it sticks to the right place. Should be a minute or so before we arrive at the first of our destinations. So if I lose the engine out here, I am super stuffed. There's still trees. Downside of one engine and a weird fuel switch. I've not had that bug reported really before, but I've seen a couple of other people have it. But I've not seen anything regarding it being a problem. Okay, over we come now. correct course a little bit. Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough terrain if we engine out around here. Not exactly a ton of options. So, you're going to have to be a little bit careful with that and hope everything sticks together. I'd try for an air start on the engine if I could possibly manage it whilst coasting down. Not that I'd like to try having to air start a Huey engine. That'll be as brown as this helicopter. This has definitely become one of my favourite of all time helicopters in a sim. Cowan Sims 125 is my go-to, but first Miltech C-47, CH-47, sorry, wrong aircraft, and now this. This definitely is not as fast as the 125, not quite as nimble, but oh boy, is she a classic in so many ways. And I like having the medical interior in the back of mine. So this should be, I believe, us up here, if I look at this correctly. Yes, it will be. Let's try and climb. What are we currently at right now? 4,700 feet. I don't want to be in a hover when this engine starts behaving itself poorly. Flying helicopters in the mountains can be just as interesting as fixed wing, but you can turn around a little bit easier. It's just VRS could become a major terrifying problem. So where's this lookout? It should be up here somewhere on the ridge. I think we're going to surprise them a little bit. Should be somewhere over here. I don't see it. Where are you hiding? Off our rear quarter. Oh, there she is, at the top. You just missed that. Got all the rocks still on the ridgeline. Let's go buzz the fire tower, shall we? Wake up, boys! Oh, that with the rotor slap is just iconic. Engine's looking good. This is how you want to resupply the guys in the fire watch tower. There's our landing site over there. I'm not getting raised fingers from the fire watch tower. I've not done it right. A little bit of turbulence there, kicking me sideways. Turn it around, bring it forwards, and nice and gentle, and down we go. And whilst we're here, what's that roof saying? What are you looking at? Yeah, I must have flown up here before, because they don't like me. Not a bad little spot to come and visit this. Is that the only toilet they got up here? Not good. Right, I say we get out of here and we head on to our next destination. Smell you later, boys. What you can't see in the sim is me flipping under the bird as we go past. Oh, am I hovering too close? Am I going to lift the tin on your roof? Really? Am I going to annoy you with this? Oh, suck to suck. Okay, and we are off. Do some ridge running here as it's on our course technically. Oh yes. This is why I enjoy this helicopter so much. Taog Hangar got this so right. I love it. Even though I've never actually flown in a Huey, which is usually a good prerequisite for seeing it's right, it feels right. It feels like I'm in a Huey. It flies well, it feels weighty, the sounds are good. I've heard one in real life, I've actually seen one in an air show, but never actually been in one or flown one. I've sat in one, but not a flying one. I would love to fly in a real Huey one day. Although I don't think anyone would want me to fly one. I am dangerous when it comes to helicopters, especially this thing. Still good there. Okay, we're not super far away when it comes to Trinity Center. That's a tree. Ridgeline ahead. Trinity Center's on the side of a lake, and I could do with a lake because it's really muggy and hot here, and it's 2 AM when I'm recording this video, and it is super humid still. Super humid. And my office is sweltering. I should have put my hair up before I did this, because it is not cool. Another ridgeline overhead. This is Limestone Cliff. I think this is Limestone Cliff here. Oh, there's the little runway. Oh, we have to check this out. Yeah, that's the runway at Limestone Watch. That is a runway, yes. And we go. What's that down there? Couple of sheds and a pickup. Yeah, this is the runway. I want to bring a fixed wing up here and play with this. Because look at that ski jump runway. 600 feet of hell yes. I don't think we like 600 feet. That looks like 300 feet. It's sloped enough that you got the benefit of that. But in fact, I need to find out if this is true. I should be searching on the... There's a tree. Okay, that's caused by me searching the internet whilst flying. We're going to pretend that never happened. I'll bring this quickly round, and we'll find out very quickly, as I put it down on the end of this runway, just how far this is. Where is it? Head on. You know what's throwing me off? My chair is... I'm falling off the edge of a bloody cliff. I'm fine in 1 minute, and all of a sudden I'm not. I'm on a different office chair right now. My chair is normally a Herman Miller. They're amazing, by the way. If you haven't got one, get one. But the seat pad has cracked, meaning that I can't currently use it because it is not working. It won't function. So... it means that I'm sitting on a dining room chair right now, which means my height to my yoke is different, meaning the yoke is hitting my leg, which is interfering with my flying. It's a terrible excuse, but it is in this case a valid excuse. Quickly scrolling through the Orbx website that I should have looked up beforehand. Try and find this airport. Heyfork, California. There we go. We got 295 feet. Well, ain't that charming? 295 feet. That's a whole lot of fun. And I swear the chair excuse is very valid in this case. Okay, we are wonderful. Let's get ourselves up here. Over the ridge and far, far away. There we go. The fuel is... Air? Oh, my engine oil's hot. Right, okay. Probably from sitting around a bit too long there. They're knocking off, so that's okay. I'm just going to pretend that's fine. Nothing is wrong here. Okay. So up the valley here, not a super long trip, but it will take us off towards Trinity Centre. So if you want a good little bit of flying around this area between Haywood and this free one, you have a couple of options. There's also Eureka just off to our west. So if you wanted some options, Eureka will be about 10 minutes flight to the west. And the scenery is stunning, as you can tell. Do a quick look-see-doodle, shall we? Ah, we're there. Actually, it's a lot further than I thought, so what we're going to do is I'm going to fly this, and if I see anything interesting, we'll come back, and if I don't, I'll see you when we get a lot closer. Okay? Now, we're not super duper close, but we are close enough that we're going to have some fun. Everyone likes to have fun, don't they? Yeah, me especially. I should drop the throttle down a little bit here to bring us under the torque threshold, so we're not going to be cooking this engine just as hard. Because I was definitely cooking it. I was running at max throttle the whole time. My understanding of helicopters is definitely improving slowly. So we'll be coming out here right then left again. It's a Huey. You can't not fly basically lower than snake crab. It's kind of required. But yes, so if you've not already bought this helicopter, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic replica of the Huey, and we know Blackbird's coming out with one. If theirs is going to beat this, theirs will be phenomenal. Like, that's going to be the interesting part. Will it compete on price? Will it compete on quality, systems, functions? That's going to be a tough ask. Because Taog has definitely got everything it's asking for so far. I would genuinely be impressed if it did somehow. The only thing I can think of is having actual door gunners and Vietnam era infantry in the back of it as an option, and rocket pods perhaps. Vietnam era litters in the dust off version. That's all I can really think might be different. Because the one thing I don't like about Taog is the infantry in the back are like a modern day generic army, which feels quite weird. Here we are. Not the greatest scenic view down here, but you know what? It's fun flying this low across the water. Should be playing something to do with Wagner, I think. Should definitely be playing Wagner. Should be surfboards on the side of this helicopter right now. Let's go up a little bit, shall we? Engine oil cooling down yet? Not sure. But we're okay. Flight up this whole lake area here. Although it feels like this is more of a dam. I'm not sure where the dam would be unless it's at that far end, which is entirely possible, seeing as how it peters out and runs down that way. But I think there's a dam around here somewhere. It doesn't look like a natural lake formation. It looks like the valleys themselves are filled up, which is typically how these things go. Same with where the beach formations have occurred. California does love its dams. If you just look down there, the catchment area looks wrong for it to be natural. You don't tend to see lakes that look like this naturally. Those are valleys that are filled up. Of course, the vibration's much cooler now. Of course, we have the hula girl there, or the grass skirt girl. I forget what they're called, other than Hawaiian dancer girl. I'm so sorry, I feel terrible. Luau girl there, dancing away. That definitely feels cool. Like, we need more aircraft with little dancing figures on the cockpit, whether it's a cat or a dog or a little figurine like that. Those are like cool little trinket things that really kind of make things feel a lot more personal, you know? Like, if I owned a Huey, I would absolutely have a little bobblehead on the dash, without fail. And if one day someone makes a good, emphasis here on good, C-119 or C-123, it's either a flying boxcar or a provider, if it doesn't give me the option to have a bobblehead at the cockpit, I'm going to be upset. Because those are the kind of planes I will have a Avangel specific bush cargo smuggler livery on, and I will fly it all around the world. In and out of the nastiest, gnarliest little spots ever. It's the kind of plane you're flying along in your flight suit tied around your waist, blasting some tunes on a old stereo that's duct taped to the back of the cockpit. That's flying. If everything isn't leaking grease, is it actually working? Didn't think so. But we are not too far away now. Just down the valley, in fact, here from Trinity Center. Just up there, the lake widens up over here. Yeah, the way this falling down those valleys, it definitely doesn't have that natural kind of developed flow appearance of smoothed edges that lakes tend to have, because it's kind of fjordy, but not fjordy. The sides aren't steep enough. The sides are too shallow, meaning chances are this does just proceed at the same kind of angles you're seeing down under the water. Which definitely tells me it's more man-made than not. I could be entirely wrong. I'm good at being wrong. In fact, it's a specialty. There we go. Okay, so now we can drop back down and have some fun here. Nothing will ever feel quite as good as that rotor slap you get from this thing. It really is the dog's biscuits. I love it. So what have we got coming up? The 707, of course, is coming very soon. I'm excited for that. It's vintage, so I do like it. On that same note, I'm disappointed still by the C-46. I'm hoping Vatavia brings out a Blenheim at some point, because I really could do with one of those. I like them, as bad as they were. I have a personal little literary connection to one. A Mark IV specifically. I'm looking forward to the big updates to the SALS 206, the Cessna 206. That's a big one coming along. And we have a number of aircraft from Blackbird, including the Huey. They have mentioned their Blackbird. There's some big upcoming releases as well from... wow, my brain just did a complete and utter... Simwork Studios, SWS, sorry. So big updates from them too. Here we are at Trinity. Let's pay them a visit, shall we? Now this is how you're meant to come ashore in a Huey. Watch and learn, folks. This is how you come ashore in a Huey. Oh, isn't the Huey waiting for us? Nice. There's all the luxurious residents here. Round and down we come. Not a bad little airport, this, actually. Definitely on the posh side of things. Hello, little residents. Don't mind me. Ooh, what's over here? I haven't explored this side yet. Just hangars by the looks of things, and a parking lot there. Boring. We'll go back to find our little friend on the ramp. Let's bring her down, shall we? Try not to bobble as much. Again, it's kind of a little bit tricky for me with my leg blocking too much movement here. Because again, yes, I'm using a yoke. Sue me, okay? Which means it bumps into my thigh. Never thought I'd be talking about my thighs in a flight sim video. So that's the first for you guys who are watching this. Hello, Huey. There we go. Now you're allowed to switch off. Engine's spooling down. We can stick the rotor brake on. And we can hop out. Not a bad landing job if I do say so. It's a little bit close to him. Actually, that's very close to him and his rotor disc. Okay. So we can't take off together, that's for sure. It looks like a Navy one. Although it is long and interesting. Interesting, because that's a single engine. 2-blade. But the nose is longer. Is that a 205? It shouldn't be, because, I mean, that's a very stubby nose on this one. That's the classic Huey, though. And that's got more of the civilian longer nose. But the Bell 205 is the same style nose as the original Huey. Interesting. Because it interesting. Okay, because the I'm not seeing a difference in the nose there, because the civilian variants go to the 204B, 204B2, the Augusta 204B, the Bell 204, the 205s. The longer nose one is interesting because, again, I mean, it's probably a variant of it here that's somewhere in this, but they do have the twin engine is the bigger version. That longer nose is very much like the Bell 212. A kind of more pointed nose there, which would have the twin engines, not a single turbine. And it does look a little different. Obviously, that's just a 3D model, so it's whatever. It's probably just been simplified to make it look like a Huey. I don't know. It couldn't even be a real variant. It might not be. Who knows? And again, the top of the engine looks a little different. Either way, that's enough messing around looking at helicopters for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's flight, and I rather like this little airport. I might have a pretend luxury home out here, one of these nice little airport-side properties. That could be fun. That could be very fun indeed. Maybe one of these. Which one has a nice garden? Oh, none of them have a nice garden. You know what? I'll just pick one at random. They'll be fine. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye!